So Solid Gold Bomb is a retailer on the UK branch of Amazon, and until recently had been selling a series of extremely controversial t-shirts. I don't mean like Korea's Got Soul. I mean really controversial. Why don't we bring up pictures of those actually? That seems impossible. How could they have been selling those?
It's the whole Todd Aiken line right there. Isn't that something?
What
There's the rape. There's also some domestic abuse ones like Keep Calm and Keep Hitting Her.
It's nice that they have the full color selection too.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
many
Hit her,
different,
yeah.
and they try to reword it, so people have variety here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, was there even an attempt at defending what they were trying to sell?
No. So they said, it's interesting. We have a quote actually. This is from Solid Gold Bomb, and they attempt to defend it. We'll see what you think. But they say, although we did not in any way deliberately create the offensive T-shirts in question, and it was the result of a scripted programming process that was compiled by only one member of our staff, we accept the responsibility of the error and are doing our best to correct the issues at hand. So what they're saying is that it was culling the internet for phrases and automatically creating T-shirts based on it, which is not impossible, but it seems unlikely.
That is the worst business model ever created. The internet is a haven for trolling. Like, why would you allow the internet to decide what is on your product?
The things that people are writing about us right this second while we do this,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it would just be like a mix of like Keep Calm and I Love Feet and stuff like that. Like you can't base a business on the internet in that way. Now, obviously, you've probably seen other shirts of this model. They date back to a quote from World War II, and the shirts have been taken down. They've apologized to whatever extent you consider that an actual apology. But it just seems amazing that it could last that long. Like you saw, there were actually some reviews of those shirts, and obviously people had a problem with it.
Who thinks that wearing that shirt is a good idea? Like, what community do you live in where wearing a Keep Calm and Rape Her shirt is something that's totally socially acceptable?
Right,
Yeah.
like the guy selling it is one thing. Like
Right.
the guy maybe was like, maybe there's a market for this, but the person that was like clicking around and then was like, that's the shirt I want.
People
I
buy a lot
am
of
wearing that
crazy
to my
stuff.
birthday. Like what?
I'm sure Stormfront has a merchandise section. People wear a lot of crazy stuff. There was a guy in my in student government back in undergrad. I had a shirt. It was something like, "If I wanted your opinion, I'd stop choking you so you could say it." Like crazy stuff.
Clever.
Like people
That's a
want to
clever
express
one.
themselves.
Pretty clever.
If you can't write poetry, or something like that, express yourself with a shirt. That's what some people apparently in this country think.
What is the rape fascination though? Like why
That's
does
what I
rape
wanna
just
talk about.
consistently come up over and over? Like it just seems very
It's the
bizarre to me.
extreme thing on the internet. I killed you in this game, I've raped you. It's the extreme thing to say in most situations.
And also, stories like this can give us an opportunity to really look at what society or how society treats rape. So, before covering these stories, before talking about the Todd Aikens of the world, I think that a lot of people were under the assumption that people took rape seriously. And if someone had been raped, we handled the situation in the right way. But you're kind of starting to notice more and more that rape is a little bit of a joke for some people, and maybe it's a good time, and I don't want to be like the old lady on the panel who's like, this is a good opportunity for education. But you know what? It is. It's a good opportunity to kind of tackle this issue.
Bachman right there.
It was. And kind of like talk about, the seriousness of rape, the fact that these are your sisters, your cousins, your nieces, your family members that could be victims of rape, and it's not something to joke around about. It's something to take pretty seriously. Yep. By the way, I'm very curious to see what you think. Oftentimes we talk about comedians making rape jokes, and very often those jokes will fail. But do you believe that there are certain circumstances where rape jokes can be really funny and acceptable?
My general thing on this is that comedians have to cross the line. That is the point. That is the point of free speech. It's the point of everything we do is to challenge truth by being funny, because otherwise if you just tell the truth without being funny, you're probably going to get punched or hit with a wrench or some of that stuff.
Put on AM radio.
Exactly. So I don't think I've ever done a rape joke. I can't swear in 14 years of comedy, but if it's funny, and I know that's a little bit of an out there, but if it's funny and there are ways to do something that it may not be exactly about rape, you know what I mean? That there's ways to use subtext and subtlety, I think, that can make it work. So I would say nothing on its face is off topic.
I think that's a fair point. I think that there are certain circumstances, and you have to make sure as a comedian that it's actually going to go over well, and that it is a funny joke. It's a well thought out joke. And oftentimes, I think that cases like this. I mean, in this case, since the internet got to decide what was on the merchandise, I think people were just trolling or whatever. But I mean, there are cases where people try to make fun of rape, and it doesn't go over well.